When studying religious context with reference to Himalayan art, the field is wide open. You can study whatever books that are comfortable for you. That any books that you're attracted to, it just really doesn't matter. As long as you understand that the foundation of a lot of the Himalayan art is religious. It's either Buddhist or Bon or some Hindu, very little but some tribal. There's a lot of symbolism. There's a lot of patterns and shapes and design where you don't even have to be interested in any kind of religious studies. You simply have to have an art interest, and you're interested in the designs and patterns. But for the sake of those individuals who are interested in some basis for religious context in approaching the Buddhist art, then I do recommend one publication called The Tree of Enlightenment. I recommend it not because it's written by a friend of mine, which it is, full disclosure here, but it was also written and published and made available for free. There's no charge for this book, and it's readily available on the internet. Now, it was done some years ago. I would say, gosh, I'm not really certain. I think it's the early 80s, and it was done in Singapore. Because Peter was requested, Peter Della Santina is the author, and Peter was requested by the education department of the Singapore government to assist with the Buddhist ethics curriculum for the school system, the Singapore school system. And so this publication is something that sort of came out as a sort of a side project. Now, it is divided into 4 parts. I'm not going to go into what the 4 parts are. It's divided into 4 parts. All we're really concerned with, in a very specialized way, is the 3rd part, which is Vajrayana Buddhism. Now, the entire book is good, but the 3rd part is Vajrayana Buddhism, and in that section there is chapter 25 is on myth and symbolism. And then I believe that Peter Della Santina also did an article on the development of symbolism as well. Both of these, the chapter 25 and then another article that Peter Della Santina did, are both on the HAR website in full, and they're illustrated. But in terms of wanting to have a foundation, a basis in Buddhism to understand, well, what is all this art really about, then this book is readily available on the internet. It's free of charge, and it's done by a very, very competent scholar. It's just one of the easiest to obtain and the best, most authoritative introduction in easy language, understandable language for beginners and intermediate students. So, The Tree of Enlightenment, that's the book that I recommend because it's easy to find, it's easy to understand, and there's not a lot of complicated jargon, and nobody's trying to impress you with their knowledge. They're trying to convey information to you. So, press the like button, you can subscribe, you can join HAR on Patreon, and you can make a donation on the homepage of Himalayan Art Resources website.